The part I hate about the manifesting world is this belief that we have to deny any emotion that's not positive. Hey, this is Tracy with Tracy Talks. Welcome. I've had a few days this week where I have been in all of the feels. I have been having crazy dreams. I've been having crazy dreams about family members. I even had my ex show up. And when I woke up in the morning, I remembered dreaming about him. And I started the day with, really? Like, you're still in my dreams. Haven't I thought about you enough? Like, I'm over it. I can look back to my childhood as well, where being in my feels and being sad and working through heavier emotions wasn't something that was really embraced. Like, we weren't supposed to linger on being sad, or if we were hurt, we weren't supposed to linger in those feelings. We had to pick ourselves up, we had to brush ourselves off, and we had to pretend that everything was fine. It was that fake it till you make it mentality, like fake being happy. And even when I'm watching some content creators online, I get kind of irritated with the extremely perky ones, that every video is this, I'm having the most fabulous life and I'm just living my best life ever. And it's like, no, we need to normalize the struggle. We need to normalize that there are cycles, that yes, there are moments where everything is wonderful and we're at the top of the world. But then there's also moments where we have things show up and we have to slow down. We have to be in that moment. And there's feelings there. There's real feelings there. And it's like, I don't want to pretend that I'm not having these feelings. I don't always want to talk about them either. Like, I don't want to talk about and share them with everybody. Sometimes I just want to be in the feels and I want to sit there and I want to feel them, and not everybody needs to know. There was this period of time early on in my spiritual journey where I was really embracing manifestation and the power of affirmations and trying to focus on the positive things that I wanted to bring in my life. And that meant being as happy and positive as possible every moment of the day, which in reality, it sounds like a good thing, right? But the reality is sometimes there are things that happen. And denying myself those emotions is like cutting off parts of myself. Even when I get on here to record, a lot of times when there is a struggle and there's something that happens in my life, that often provides me with new ideas, new opportunities, new solutions, so I guess one could say that yes, I've turned it into something positive, but it requires me to go into that feeling, either that sadness, that anger, that rage, that moment. And ultimately, yes, it can turn into something positive. It doesn't always. But I learned early in this journey that I can't deny myself these feelings. That some days I have a day where I just want to be in my feels. Nothing has happened. I don't know why I feel the way I feel. It's just how I feel. And I don't have to dissect it. I don't have to understand it. If something does arise in me and I can perceive a greater understanding, that's wonderful. But sometimes I just want to be in my feels. There was this moment earlier in the week where I was like, good God, what is happening? And even though I embrace astrology, I look at the transits, there's a lot going on in a chart. And when you can look at everything. Sometimes it's like there's just too much to look at. And so I was having this moment where I was like, I am somewhere and the feelings are real and I just want to do as little as possible. I went and looked at the chart, and of course, the moon was in the sign of Cancer. And the moon loves to be in Cancer because this Cancer is this watery sign where the moon is at home and it just wants to be in all of its feels. And my reaction was, obviously, this is one reason that I'm feeling this way. And Cancer just happens to be in my 12th house, which is that house of isolation and reflection and going within and just being with those feelings. And the moon in the sky has this natural cycle. And there's this very dark period where it's easier to turn within. It's easier to sink into emotions. And now I embrace that even more. I don't try to run away from those feelings. I don't necessarily always want to share them with everybody, but I don't get upset when I have strong reactions. And I think about it more in this way of, this is just another cycle. And why do I want to skip steps? Why do I want to gloss things over? And why has this been normalized? Why has it been so normalized that we are supposed to pretend that everything is good and everything feels good and we are thriving or faking it? And when I look at people in my life, I have known some absolutely horrible and sour people. And they were still successful. They still had things come into their life. They still have relationships. They still have money flow in. And so this idea that we have to always pretend to be happy to get the things in life that we want is simply untrue. Like, things are just going to happen in the order that they're supposed to happen. Obviously, I do want to be happy and joyful and feel abundant and be a ray of sunshine, but I'm not going to deny myself this other half of the cycle, which is going deep and working on things, even though I have reached this point. It's like, how much more work do I need to do with some of these people? Like, again, the dreaming about the ex. I wasn't sitting and thinking about this person during the day, so why are they in my dreams? Why is he haunting me in my dreams? And after my initial reaction, I realized I don't have to try to reflect on that and go any deeper. It is what it is, and I'm just going to sit it there and let it be. The moon is growing brighter. It's pulling out of this dark phase. And so too will the emotions, and on to the next phase until it becomes bright again. And I've been recently unfollowing creators that are just too happy and perky because it's not real. It's not how life goes. Life isn't always just this perfect shining example. That the realness, the struggle, the obstacles that we've had to overcome are the things that we should be wearing as a badge of honor. And how can we celebrate the struggle, the imperfections? The last episode that I was trying to record, that was like the 5th topic that I had tried to record. The struggle was real that day, and that's the day that I looked at the moon. I couldn't grasp my words. There wasn't any topic that I really wanted to share. I couldn't get the energy behind me. I couldn't tap into any type of inspiration. And a 10-minute episode was actually more like a 4.5 or 5 hour process. I haven't mastered anything here. I'm more like This is more like a trial and error process. And then even if I do record an episode and it flows out of me easily and I'm happy and satisfied with the episode, there's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to upload it, that I'm not going to have issues with apps and technology and all of these other things. And that's the reality. That's how life is. The moment that we step out of the door, we don't know what's going to happen. And rarely do we get into this moment where everything lines up. And there are times where that happens and it's beautiful and it's amazing. And there's nothing better than when all of the synchronicity lines up. And I have some of those moments in my life where I look back and reflect that I couldn't have planned that. That wasn't anything. I mean, that was beyond me. The synchronicity was too perfect. But for the most part, the struggle is real. It's normal. It's just a part of life. It's okay to feel sad about it. It's okay to feel angry about it. It's okay to cry about it. And why would anybody really encourage us to deny ourselves these deep emotions? Like, why do we want to do that? And anymore, sometimes when I see somebody and you see those people and they always act like they're just really happy. And I'm getting a little jaded because it's like, what's really going on there? What are you hiding? What are you not telling people or showing people? Embrace the struggle. Get into your feels. Feel the feels. It can be a good thing. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at More Tracy Talks. And until next time, we meet again.